So now we know about abstract class, right? We have seen how to get abstract class, we had seen how to create abstract methods. Now, is it possible to achieve multiple inheritance with abstract class? And of course not, because abstract class itself is a class. And we know that when you go for multiple inheritance in Kotlin or Java, the basic problem is in both this scenario, there might be an ambiguity issue because of ambiguity issue, it says, okay, let's not use multiple inheritance. But when it comes to interface, Kotlin and Java both supports multiple inheritance. How can we do that? So what I will do here is let's remove all this thing here. Let's remove this human and all this thing. Let me create interface. In fact, I will remove this alien as well. Let's go for a simple logic. So what I will do here is I will create an interface and I will say interface A. Okay, so we got interface A and we got interface B. Now, interface, now if you don't know what interface is same as abstract class. So interface is same like abstract class, and so in an interface also we can declare methods. The thing is, in interface we can only declare methods, right? So what we can do is, if you want to declare a method, it's very simple. You can say fun show, and that's it. You don't even have to use an abstract keyword. Now if you remember, in abstract class we use a keyword called as abstract, but in case of interface you don't have to use abstract keyword, because by default all the methods or functions are abstract. The same thing can be done here. We can say fun display. So we got this two interfaces. They have two different methods. Now in order to work with this, of course we have to create a class, and we'll say this class is maybe C, and C goes with A and B. Now you can see that we don't use any keyword called as, oh, what's that? Okay. So we are not using any keyword called as implements or extends. So we don't have to do that. So in Java, what we do is we extend a class and we implement an interface. But in case of Kotlin, you simply use a colon. You can implement maybe one interface, maybe 5 interface, it will work fine. But then you might be saying that there's an error. The error is because you can see in A we have a method show, in B we have a method display. It is the responsibility of class C to define both these methods. Now how we can do that? It's very simple. So we can say fun show, and we can define whatever we want here. So I can, what's that? We'll say print ln, and we'll print in show. So that's the first definition we got. And now the problem is with display. So what I will do here is I will say fun, and I will name this as display, and we'll say print ln, will say in display, right? So you can see we are defining both the methods, but still it is not working. Now what's the issue? See, whenever you try to override the methods, right? Even here we are trying to override this method using show. So what you do is, now you know this, right? We have to use a keyword called as override. So remember this thing, whenever you override any interface, or whenever you override a function of the interface, we need to use this keyword called as override. And I guess everything is fine here. If I create object of C, we can say var increase the font size a bit, yeah. So var obj equal to, and we can specify C and bracket. That's we got the object of C, and we'll say C dot. If I call show, it will call show. If I call display, it will call display. Right? So interface is same like abstract class. The only difference is in interface we cannot define methods as of now, right? And interface does support multiple inheritance, right? Now the problem is, as you know, in Java 8, so from Java 8 we have allowed Java, and we have allowed interface to have defined methods, which means that from Java 8 we can define method in interface. Now those methods are basically default methods, right? So again, from Java 7 to Java 8, there was a huge change, which is you can define methods in interface, and that was weird, I know. Now why they made it such thing, why they allowed to go for multiple, why they allowed to define methods in interface, I would suggest you to watch my video on that. I do have a video on why interface are allowed to have default methods now. But then just to give you a glimpse, what will happen is, let's say we got this class C, and in that it is implementing A, right? Now in which we have only, in this we have only one method, right, which is show, and that's why we're defining only one method. Let's say in future, if you thought, okay, I want to have one more method inside this interface A, maybe that method name is ABC. So if you declare one more method, it will break all your code, right? It will break all your classes. So all the classes in the world which is implementing the same interface, they will give you trouble. And that's why you are not allowed to change the existing interface. But even if you want to change that, what you can do is you can define methods. Again, it was introduced in Java 8, and Kotlin also supports this thing. So what we can do is we can actually define methods. I can say fun, I will name this method as ABC itself, and we can define methods. That's fine, okay, it works. And if I say print ln, and if I say, okay, let me just print in ABC. Now that's fine, we'll say in ABC A, right? And now we can actually call both the methods. We can say obj.abc as well. But then question arises, inside this C, we don't have ABC method, right? But then, okay, we are actually extending it, right? So this method actually comes to your C class, and everything works fine. If you run this code, you can see it is printing in show, in display, and in ABCA. Now everything is good here. The problem is, now why Java has removed multiple inheritance in the first place is to avoid ambiguity issue, right? What if you have the same function in both the interfaces? So if I say in ABCB now, so we got the same method which is ABC and ABC in interface A and interface B, and now your C says, hey, there is an issue now. You are saying that the C implements A and B, and then you have the same method which is ABC at both the places, which ABC have to take care, and that's the issue. You can see it says, it says class C must override public open function ABC. The problem is, whenever you have this type of scenario where you are getting ambiguity issue, the best way to solve that is by creating a method by yourself, which is called as ABC. And again, you have to make sure that you have to make it override. So we'll say override fun ABC, and we'll print in ABC C. Okay, so now the problem is solved. You can see that. So in case of ambiguity problem with interfaces where you can define methods, now you can actually print this thing. Okay, I mean, you can actually override this method and your problem will be solved. Now, of course, when you run this code, it will print in ABCC, of course, right? You can see we got the output as in ABCC. Okay, now you might be thinking, what if I want to call a specific method? I want to call ABC of A. Maybe you want to call ABC of B. You don't want to print this thing. So you can do that as well. So again, we can use a super, and then we can say super.abc. But again, the confusion is which ABC you're talking about. Again, there's an ambiguity issue, right? So in that case, you have to use generics and to say, hey, I want to specify A. So call ABC of class A. And if you run this code now, so instead of printing in ABCC, it will print in ABCA, right? And that's what you wanted. And after doing all these things, there's only one question in your mind now. If interface can have method definition, what is the difference between interface and abstract class, right? Now that's the what you say, one of the biggest mystery now. The thing is, interface was not allowed to define methods earlier, and that was the main difference between interface and abstract classes. But then due to modern requirements, they made interface to define methods as well. So unfortunately, we don't have a choice now. So this is what we do now. So we have to define methods, and again, given a choice, always go for interface instead of using abstract classes. So yeah, that's it. That's how you use interfaces in Java, interface in Kotlin, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching.